alert for you now because Senator Ted Cruz telling Donald Trump if he has lawsuits to file, bring it on. Hi, everyone. I'm Gretchen Carlson. This is The Real Story. Senator Cruz telling Trump he will be wasting his time filing a defamation suit over his ad, which uses a clip of Donald Trump expressing his then pro-choice stance. This was back in 1999.
Would President Trump ban partial birth abortion?
Well, look, I'm very pro-choice.
But you would not ban it?
No.
Or ban partial birth abortion?
No, I would. I am pro-choice in every respect.
We cannot trust Donald Trump with these serious decisions.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
Well, Trump has touted his anti-abortion stance on the campaign trail and sent Cruz a cease and desist letter about that ad. Well, Cruz now tells Trump, go ahead, sue me.
If you want to file a lawsuit challenging this ad, claiming it is defamation, file the lawsuit. It is a remarkable contention that an ad that plays video of Donald Trump speaking on national television is somehow defamation.
Rick Tyler is the campaign spokesperson for Senator Ted Cruz and my guest on The Real Story. What is the real story here? It looks like your candidate came out on fire today, basically telling Donald Trump to go ahead.
Well, look, I know you like complicated, sophisticated analysis, but let me just break this down really simple. This is really about three candidates. The first candidate is threatening to sue over an ad in which he appears in his own words. And he's also threatening to sue over another candidate's eligibility. The second candidate is wanting to talk about Facebook and a fake Facebook post who sends Congressman Trey Gowdy, a former prosecutor, to make false accusations that we were behind the ad, and to literally go out and make a fool of himself, sort of like he did in the Benghazi hearings, to make it look like we're behind it. Then you're talking about Rubio, and then you have another candidate who yesterday talked about a rebuild of the military to keep America safe, which is important to South Carolinians. So what we have here is smear, fear, and lies, or trust, integrity, and truth, and that's the choice in the campaign.
Okay.
These two campaigns are talking about literally nothing, pathetic nonsense that makes no sense to anybody.
I'm going to get to the Trey Gowdy and the Marco Rubio stuff in just a moment. Let's stick on Donald Trump for a moment because now he's firing back to you. He says Ted Cruz has already had one of his ads pulled off the air concerning Senator Rubio because it was totally false, and then he goes on and on in a statement. At the end, he says, if I want to bring a lawsuit, it would be legitimate. Likewise, if I want to bring the lawsuit regarding Senator Cruz being a natural-born Canadian, I will do so. Time will tell, Teddy. What's your response?
Okay, well, Donnie, first, the Cruz campaign has had no ads taken off the air, none, zero. So he's lying about that, just as he lied about what Norm Coleman said yesterday, which he continued to lie about even after Norm Coleman put out a statement saying he didn't say what he said. Donald Trump has been for the assault weapons ban. He mentioned that in the statement that he's pro-gun, yet he was for the assault weapons ban. And he also touts all the achievement and accomplishment of Mayor Bloomberg of New York, who's been the leading pro-gun control advocate in the country.
Right.
And he talks about how wonderful he is.
Okay.
He also talks about Senator Clinton, about how wonderful she is, and yet she seemingly led the initiative on Libya, which removed Muammar Gaddafi, which led to the Benghazi attacks where Chris Stevens lost his life and 3 other Americans, and now Libya is a haven to terrorists.
Okay.
This is who Donald Trump thinks is important.
All right, I want to go now to the Senator Rubio claim that you brought up at the top of the show. His campaign is crying dirty politics, blaming your candidate Cruz of sending out a fake Facebook post claiming South Carolina Congressman Trey Gowdy is switching sides and supporting now Cruz. Well, Gowdy issuing a statement saying this: the truth actually matters to me and to all South Carolinians. Unfortunately, it appears that the campaign of Senator Ted Cruz may not place the same value on waging a contest based on the truth and facts. A pretty strong statement now coming from Trey Gowdy. The accusations were alive and well in Iowa as well with your camp against Ben Carson, where you had to apologize. So what do you say in this case?
Well, first of all, Trey Gowdy, who was a former federal prosecutor with apparently limited skills, failed to look up that Facebook started in 2014. Now, the Cruz campaign would have had to have amazing foresight to have predicted that we would, A, be in the race, that Rubio would be in the race, and C, that Trey Gowdy would support Marco Rubio so that we could have a fake Facebook page ready to go to make sure that everybody knew that Trey Gowdy had switched his position.
So you're not behind this at all? You're not behind this? Your camp is not behind this at all?
Absolutely not. And the irony here is there was a representative from Facebook in our office the day this happened. And they asked about it, and they looked it up. And guess what? Marco Rubio's campaign made no attempt to take it down. So they asked us what we would like to do, and we said, go ahead and take it down. It was down in 3 minutes. So the Marco Rubio campaign is lying about it because they didn't do anything to take the phony Facebook post down because they didn't ask about it. So it seems to me they wanted it out there.
Does any of this help your candidate, though? Does any of this help your candidate? Because now all these polls have come out. He's 18, 20 points behind Donald Trump now in South Carolina, even with the evangelical vote. Does Ted Cruz coming out and combating Donald Trump face-to-face like this, does that help him?
Well, Ted Cruz held a press conference this morning that Fox News didn't cover, but what he said in the press conference was
covering it right
everything
now.
that Donald, they didn't cover it live, and so, but look, which is important. I think people, I mean, Donald Trump's, all his press conferences seem to get covered. We have a hard time getting a press conference covered. And what he said in the press conference is everything in the ad was absolutely true. And we backed it up. We showed his own words. And Donald Trump has supported partial birth abortion, but more than that, he supported Democratic candidates who are pro-abortion. He gave money as recently as 2014 to pro-abortion candidates. Now, people in the pro-life movement don't do that. People in the pro-life movement don't tout that Planned Parenthood does, what he says is they do wonderful things. He said that from the debate stage.
He did.
Nobody said, nobody in the pro-life movement believes that.
Okay.
So he's lying about Ted lying because Ted's actually telling the truth about his record. He just doesn't want to face it because Marco Rubio and Donald Trump, they can't handle the truth, so they have to go and lie about it.
All right. I guess the cage fight is continuing from last Saturday night. And by the way, we'd be more than happy to have your candidate, Ted Cruz, on The Real Story, so let us know when he can join us here, and we will give him ample airtime.
I know you will. Thank you, Gretchen.
Thank you, Rick.